Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's NBAR meeting. To get going, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to an issue that is not on today's agenda?
Good morning. We do not have any public comment.
Okay, perfect. Then we'll move on to member recusals. Has anybody had any contact with the applicants for today or? All right, not seeing anyone rise. We'll move on to the agenda status report.
No changes to the agenda.
Perfect. All right, moving on to the approval of the meeting minutes for September 27th. This was in your packet. I'm hoping you had a chance to review those. And if there are any changes you would like to make, let's talk about those now.
No changes.
No changes either.
Okay. Then with that said, I'll ask for a motion to approve the meeting minutes for September 27th.
I'll make the motion. We approve the meeting minutes from September 22nd.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting minutes are approved. Moving now to NBAR members' informational briefing. Has anybody had any contact with any applicants, supervisors, or planners?
Yes. And I don't know if this was the appropriate time to mention this. Some months back, if not a year, when we were talking about the issue of what this board actually did. And the question was raised about what we would need to do to bring this group into parity with the other bars.
Mhm.
We were told to speak to the person who appointed us. That's where it started, and that was where any change would have to be. And I had about 2-hour conversation with Supervisor Nelson the other day, and had spoken with his staff some time back to broach the subject. And he said that he would like to have a meeting with us to talk about it. That he was going to check with staff to find out what the differences were in the various bars, and that he would be more than happy to meet with us. So
Thank you.
that was, and I hope that doesn't make me have to recuse myself.
No, not at all. Anybody else? Okay, not seeing anyone rise. We'll move on to staff update.
Morning, everyone. My name is Soren Kringle. I'm a planner. I'm taking over for Shannon this morning. She is without internet because of the fire out in Buellton. So I'll be covering for her. And my item, I'm also the planner on the first item of the agenda today. So other than that, no staff update.
Okay. Well, then we'll move right on to the first item on today's standard agenda, 24 BAR 00124, the Orchid Gateway Retail Center Amendment. If the applicant is ready, go ahead and introduce yourself for the record and begin your presentation.
Good morning, board. Heidi Jones here. I can't turn my camera on, but that's okay. Nice to see you all. We're happy to be here to go over the concept review. The project is processing a development plan, a lot line adjustment, and a CUP for an ambulatory surgery center. It's going to be in a portion of Building 1 of Key Site 2, which I'm sure you are familiar with. So we just want to walk you through a couple items that require your review: trash enclosure location, generator, emergency generator and its screening, and some rooftop mechanical equipment. I believe Darcy Hernandez is here from Boulder Associates, and we'll walk you through the plans, and we welcome your questions.
Thank you.
Darcy, are you here? Does anyone see Darcy?
I don't see her online, Heidi.
Okay, let me call her. Thank you for your patience. Hold on, please. All right, guys, we're working on this, so I'll just wing it until we get someone on. If we want to scroll through the plan set, you can see in the upper corner of the plot plan, the portion of the building for the ASC, Ambulatory Surgery Center. Can scroll.
Here, Heidi, I can walk through it.
Okay. Oh, hi, Alan. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Hi. Yeah, if you zoom into the sheet index there, up at the top right, up at the top right, yeah, sheet index to the top right there, and go to the let's go to A110, sheet A110. But no, but yeah, that's it there. So the area in white, that is where we are doing our ambulatory surgery center tenant improvement work. It's an existing approved corn shell building. And what we're doing is we're adding that generator that's shown in the parking lot there to the southeast. And we have a trash enclosure as well, just up from there. If you point to the generator, yeah, there's the trash enclosure, and then below that, that's the generator. Screening the generator is a approximately 12-foot tall industrial louver system, and screening the trash enclosure is a CMU enclosure. We were told that the corn shell architect would be in charge of the design of the trash enclosure, but we were required to place it. So we placed the enclosure where it could meet an accessible route coming from our east exit of the building, egress of the building. You see the path of travel there going along the future building 2, and then going over to the trash enclosure. Now, if you go to the next sheet, I believe, or the I'm sorry, let's go back to civil. Back one. Back one. Okay. I guess it's not in the set. So let's go back to the sheet index. And we can go to the roof plan, which is there A2 point. Yeah, there we go. So we have this existing roof that we're adding mechanical units. We're adding 1, 2, 3, 4 units and a pad for a boiler. So these units were placed inboard, approximately. I can't quite read that, but let me get mine open here. Just 1 second. We've got it in about 21 feet from the edge of the building, and they all line up there, and then the other one is in much further. If you go to sheet A310, these are the building elevations. And if you go to the next sheet, yeah, so here's the line of sight drawing. They're oh, you're on that next sheet. Okay, 1 second. That future building is under design currently, but you can see the reason that lower diagonal line is because the parapet is lower at the back side of the building. So you can see that the units are placed inboard enough that you do not see the units from a standing position about 30 feet out. And if you move over to the right a little bit more, you see that the front of the building, the parapet is high enough that it does cover the units.
Alan, this is Heidi here. I'm just going to jump in for a minute and mention, hopefully staff provided you with some cut sheets of the generator and the rooftop mechanical equipment, as well as the trash enclosure spec from the owner. Those weren't, excuse me, submitted with our original application. So we'll make sure that we return with those when we come back for preliminary and final. I just wanted to mention, I hopefully got to take a look at those for context.
No, you can go back to that trash enclosure sheet that you had there. So this is the trash enclosure. If you zoom in down to the lower portion, yeah. So like I said, we were just showing the design intent, a CMU enclosure with a back gate and 2 front gates for the trash access. And like I said, this design is per the purview of the Core and Shell architect, RR&M, who will be getting approval for the new building as well. And I believe, do you have the generator plan available? A112. Oops. The right there, that tab on the right, A112. Keep going. Keep going. Far right. There you go. So this is the generator enclosure. These are a horizontal louver system. If you zoom into that middle image there, maybe you can see that a little better. Yeah, that there you go. So it's a horizontal louver system supported with piping. It can be powder coated, custom color. We're assuming it's going to be a tan color to match the smooth face CMU on the Core and Shell. The Core and Shell, it's both a terracotta smooth face CMU as well as a tan smooth face CMU uh, that will match the generator enclosure.
And I was just going to chime in, Alan, the generator is also located in a sound attenuated weatherproof level 4 enclosure inside of this screened area.
Yeah, it's an acoustic enclosure, and we have done acoustic studies and meet the sound requirements at the property lines.
All right, well, I think that we've covered it. Please let us know if you have questions.
I have one on the rooftop equipment. You guys aren't changing the parapets there. You're just locating equipment on the roof, right?
Right. Yeah, so we were given the Core and Shell, so we needed to place the units such that they would not be seen from people passing by.
But it looks like you're adding fall protection on that, or is that already?
Yeah, yes, we are adding some fall protection. We have some OSHA required guardrails. If you go to the roof plan, go back to the roof plan, which is A212, and you see in the southeast corner, we have some railing at the corner there, going east and going south, and then a little further over by the roof drain towards the outside of the building, we also have a short portion of guardrail. And that guardrail, you can see the detail up on the right, the top right detail. It's
But
attached
isn't that a
to
requirement for if you're less than 12 feet?
10 feet. Yes, yes. That's
and
if
you are
there's a
electrical.
drain. Yeah, to the drains. If there's any work on the drain, or I believe we also have an exhaust fan there in the right corner. So if you're within that range, you need a OSHA guardrail.
Soren, do you have any comments on this?
No comments in particular. I would just say that if this project receives conceptual approval today, it'll go to the planning commission for review and approval, and then it will return to the board here for preliminary and final approval afterwards.
So another question, how high did you say the generator screening wall was?
12 feet.
12 feet. Are you providing any landscaping there, additional landscaping?
We are not. No, we just have the industrial louver screen.
What color are you proposing that to be?
A tan color to match the tan smooth finish CMU on the building.
Okay. Be quite a visual element there.
Yeah, I'm hoping with the tan that it's kind of muted.
As any additional comments from the board?
Mr. Chairman, just a real quick question for clarification. The line of sight that's shown on A310B, is there a standard how far out you have to be in order to look at those sight lines?
You should assume it's the property.
Soren, do you want to answer that?
I'm not aware of any standards, but it looks like they took it from the nearby mobile home park, like the nearest private viewing point. But I'm not aware of any Key Site 2 standards that they have to comply with. I believe there is a standard that says they should be shielded from view. As far as the distance, though, I'm not entirely sure.
Soren is correct in our approach of locating those sight lines to the adjacent mobile home park.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other comments? Okay. As you guys are agendized for conceptual review today, these are, anything that we say are just merely suggestions. But with regards to you coming back for preliminary and final approval, you should include a color swatch that would indicate the color of the building that you're going to try to match for the louver system. And that should be included in your package for us. And your package for the decision makers. So with no other comments or suggestions, I think what you presented to us is fine for now.
Yeah, maybe take a look at the landscaping around that thing.
Yeah, consult with your landscape architect and or Soren to see if there's any requirement for you to screen that enclosure. I don't know that there is, so just have that conversation.
Okay.
And I think with that, you're good to go.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, as that was the only item on today's agenda, I'll ask for a motion to close this meeting.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your participation today. Thanks, everybody.